Jesus explains, true and false prophets. Let me instruct you how to discern them. March 12, 1957, message 6782, from Jesus through Bertha Dudde, spoken by Pascal. No matter what is done to suppress the truth, it will still prevail, even though error will claim countless victims. But anyone who is earnestly willing to attain the truth will surely recognize error for what it is, and it will no longer be a danger to him. However, the fact that most people fall prey to error is understandable, for error always promises certain advantages to a person, be they spiritual or material, and people are always anxious to gain advantages for themselves. They do not love the truth for the sake of the truth. There must always be an advantage associated with it for them. Only then are they prepared to accept it. But the pure truth reveals everything clearly and openly, but can also be disadvantageous for people if the world, their earthly well-being, still means too much to them. Such is why it often finds little acceptance, why people are more willing to accept error than truth, because they always expect to gain some advantage from it, for error is more in line with their desires. It is also why the people do not want to know or hear anything about the destruction of the earth, about the passing away of all life and all creation on earth. What is now offered to them under the guise of truth, which still gives them a glimmer of hope that the end can be stopped, they accept and represent it rather than the pure truth, which would impose certain obligations on them, because they would have to prepare themselves for a certain end. There will always be prophets who announce the end on behalf of God, and also those who speak on behalf of his adversary, who, as false prophets, seek to invalidate those announcements that make promises to people, but do not point them towards the certain end, instead trying to present it as something that can be averted. And again, these prophets will find more resonance, because people do not want the end to come, so they prefer to accept the teachings that promise them an advantage. Those who live in complete ignorance will find it difficult to judge what is error and what is truth. But those who have already been initiated into spiritual knowledge need only use this as a touchstone for truth and error. What a teaching aims to achieve, what it pursues. If it seeks to impart higher knowledge to men, if it seeks to ennoble their nature, if it seeks to help them detach themselves from matter, then it is of divine origin and can be regarded as truth. If, on the other hand, the intention is clearly to create an improved earthly life of well-being, which often happens under the guise of piety, then such teachings can be safely rejected as erroneous, brought into the world by the enemy of God. But in the end times, many false prophets will come forward on his behalf, for neither the adversary nor his followers want to believe that the end is coming, and so even those who expect the end will be deceived by him again. He will plunge them into confusion. He will counter the announcements of true prophets with the statements of false prophets. For in the end times, the darkness will become ever denser, and whoever has a light should guard it, lest it be extinguished. For he can do so if his love of truth is strong, if he only accepts God and his word. But those who are not satisfied with the gentle glow of the divine light of love, their eyes will seek dazzling lights, and they no longer care for the little light that shone for them in the dark night. That is when it may easily be extinguished by the adversary of God. And his trick has succeeded. He appeared as an angel of light himself, and he found his victims. The world and the desire for it have triumphed, for the people prefer to hear what he offers them, because it questions the end of the earth, its imminent demise, the end of the old and the beginning of a new era, thus allowing people to believe that they themselves can determine this fate. They see this advantage, and this is where Satan's work can be recognized. That he makes people believe they can delay or avert the fulfillment of God's plan of salvation. But this work is also one of the visible signs of the end, and he will carry out many more attacks against the truth, and will be particularly active where he finds no defense through an absolute desire for truth. For there, the lie will not be recognized. There, he will have an easy job of it. But he will not be able to deceive those who work for God and on his behalf, for they are enlightened by his Spirit and will always be able to distinguish truth from error. Amen.